Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Washington, and every single month I help you stay grounded and focused through mindfulness and movement. The theme of this Heart Mind Moment this month is stinkin' thinking. Uh, I first heard about stinkin' thinking in early recovery. My first sponsor shared with me that it's not uncommon for us to focus more on what's wrong instead of what's right. And since then, I have had to work on that consistently through my time in recovery. It's a full-time job keeping the mind clear and focusing on the positive instead of the negative. Because there's a part of that I think we're hardwired to do is to focus on the negative. And that's just as a function of trying to keep ourselves safe. But stinking thinking gets in the way of us having a more balanced, joyful, and healthier life. The Mayo Clinic says that there are 4 different types of self-talk that we can get into, negative self-talk. That's personalizing, filtering, catastrophizing, and polarizing. So personalizing is where we just think everything is about us. It's never about other people. It's just about us. We just take it on. Filtering is where we filter out all the good stuff and we just focus on what's wrong, the bad stuff, when we look at situations in our life. Catastrophizing is where we automatically think the worst. We always go to the worst case scenario when we think about the future or a certain situation that we're in. And polarizing is where we really hold life and how we view it in 2 different baskets, good and bad, and not realizing that there's a lot of space in between. There's a lot of gray, and most of life is actually lived in the gray area, the gray spaces. So that is the quartet of negative self-talk, but I want to turn that quartet into a quintet and bring up another one that I think has been something I've had to work through in my life, is comparison. Learning how to not compare my insides with someone else's outsides. I remember in early recovery, I would go to meetings and I would compare myself and my story to other people that I would meet at meetings. They would tell these horrible war stories of being in the throes of addiction. And I would say to myself, well, that didn't happen to me. I didn't end up in the hospital, or I didn't lose a job because of my addiction, or this or that. And I would say to myself, well, maybe you're not so bad. Maybe you don't really have a problem. I had to stop that because it really wasn't about those outside things. It was more about what were the underlying feelings going on in that person's life, and how does that compare and relate to my own experience. And there I found a lot of common ground. If I left that unchecked, I probably would have compared myself right on out the recovery rooms, and I probably would have picked up and gotten drunk or high again. So I say all this to lead me to talking about how do we go from stinking thinking to a place where we're looking at life with a more optimistic point of view. The first step is to build awareness around it, because you can't change anything unless you are aware of its existence. So awareness is the first step, being mindful. Then I would say challenge your perceptions. When you find yourself caught up in a spiral of stinking thinking or holding really rigidly to your beliefs, take a moment to challenge your perceptions. Take a moment to think about, well, is what I'm perceiving actually true? Think back to and look at some evidence that might point to the contrary. That's really important to do. And then also be patient with yourself. Making changes like this, letting go of stinking thinking and our habit of relying upon that to move through the world, takes time. So be patient with yourself. And I always find affirmations to be a really wonderful way to help shift my consciousness. Like, for instance, one affirmation that I love is breathe. All is well. Breathe. All is well. Because when I'm caught up in stinking thinking, you can bet that I'm not breathing. I'm probably holding my breath or breathing in a very tight, rigid, shallow way. So, speaking of breathing, I want to take you through a simple breathing exercise that will help you to bring yourself to the present moment and apply a bit more mindfulness, patience, and insight to any situation that you're in. So place one hand on your lower belly, the other hand on your chest. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you inhale, allow your abdomen to expand, and then your ribs, and then lastly your chest. Exhale out through your nose and allow your chest, then your ribs, and then your abdomen to soften. Let's do that again. Inhale, belly, ribs, and chest. And exhale, soften the chest, ribs, and belly. And see if you can stretch your inhale and stretch your exhale. Again. Take one more breath with me. Beautiful, everyone. I hope you found that helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in for April. I have a few things to share with you. I would love for you to join me for my new online Qigong course called 30 Days of Well-Being. It's 30 short daily Qigong practices and other self-care tools that will help energize your body, balance your emotions, and calm your mind. Anyone can do it, and it only takes a few short minutes a day. I'm also currently offering a free 14-day trial to my SWE Studio monthly membership, giving you access to over 300 wellness videos that give you tools like Pilates, Qigong, meditation, laughter medicine, and so much more. I hope you take advantage of it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. All the links for these and all my other offerings are below. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful month.